Thank you, President Byrne. I'm very honored by that introduction and to be introduced by you. And I'd like to also thank Kathleen and Charles for inviting me to come to this wonderful event. I have to admit the Deep Sea Dawn moniker was actually given to me by so many other people that I just gave up. And I just, it's one of those nicknames. The screen here also says that my lab is called the Davy Jones Locker Seafloor Mapping Marine and Coastal GIS Lab. And the Davy Jones Locker moniker is there because we do map the bottom of the ocean. But it is interesting, especially with regard to literature and popular culture, because every time a Pirates of the Caribbean movie comes out, I get an inordinate amount of email asking me about Davy Jones, and I have to tell them that this is a research lab, and we go to Wikipedia or go to other historical sources, but we can tell you about the real Davy Jones. At any rate, let's get started here, and let's see if I can get my technology going. I'd like to expand not only out from Oregon to the broader Pacific, but just to planets. And I'd like to do this, and we're looking here at an image of Mars. I'd like to do this because of the element of exploration and discovery that is a major part of understanding the oceans, loving the oceans, and helping to save and protect the oceans. And the reason why I'm zooming way out to the planetary scale is because we still know more about the surface of other planets, such as Mars, than our own planet Earth. And this is a continuing problem, I think, because it hampers our ability to respond to many of the problems that Mark has just laid out for you in his talk. And it's wonderful to follow Mark in this sense, because I will try to jump off of themes that he's already introduced to you. So if we look at the Earth, and this is the Earth now in terms of water vapor across the planet, this is a NASA image, and then we're used to seeing the Earth in this realm, where this is an image of vegetation of the Earth, but the oceans are all blue. Mark has already told you that there is tremendous complexity and activity on the ocean floor. So as we look at the Earth in terms of the blue marble image here, I'd like for us to focus on an image like this where all the water is essentially drained off. This is my favorite view of the Earth. And you can see some of the complexity that is on the deep ocean floor. The yellow dots here also show you earthquake activity along our Pacific rim of fire, so to speak, where we have many earthquakes, a lot of tectonic activity, and that is also something that greatly reorganizes the surface of the planet as well as affects our lives. Now, if you take this spherical view of the Earth and then you pull it out onto a flat surface or onto a flat map, this is one of my favorite maps of the world, which does show you that wonderful complexity on the deep ocean floor. And again, this is what Mark has already shown you. If you peel back that blue ocean surface and you look at the mountain ranges that circle throughout our planet, like the seam on a baseball is the major analogy. Tremendous complexity, tremendous activity there. So let's now focus on the Pacific Ocean. And so I've taken the same map here, and I've got some arrows in terms of the places that President Byrne has already told you about where I've had some activity in terms of research. And let's just take a look at how those areas are mapped. Now, this is again where the exploration and discovery theme comes in, because at this point, we've had about 1,500 people who have climbed Mount Everest. We've sent close to 300 people into space. 12 people have walked on the moon, and yet only 2 people have visited the deepest part of our oceans, Challenger Deep in the Marianas Trench. One of them is retired to the Oregon coast, Captain Don Walsh. So as a result, we still know very little about our planet, and the number is still 5 to 10%. We've only charted about 5 to 10% of the global ocean floor at the same resolution that we have when we hike on Mary's Peak, or we hike in the Cascades, where we have a detailed map that shows us all of the major topographic features, all of the major landforms and so forth, all of the trails, all of that detail. We do not have that for the majority of the deep ocean floor.